Welcome back to Small Caps, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kerry Stevenson, and today I'm speaking with Felicity Repacholi-Muir. She's the Managing Director, newly appointed, I have to say, of Recharge Metals. ASX code is REC. Now, don't get it wrong, Felicity's been with the company since listing, but just newly appointed Managing Director. It's exciting times for Recharge Metals as they announced today the acquisition of the Express Lithium project, I should say, in James Bay. That's up in Canada. I think it's in Quebec. She'll correct me if I'm wrong. She's nodding, so I guess that means I'm right. Felicity, great to see you. First of all, congratulations on your appointment as Managing Director. That's exciting. But I know you've been with the company since its inception. Talk to us about this acquisition and its importance to the company and to shareholders.
Yep, sure. As mentioned, today we've just announced a binding conditional agreement to acquire the Express Lithium project in Quebec. So Quebec is obviously, a fantastic location to be establishing in. It's a great mining jurisdiction, really supportive of battery minerals sector, with great support from the government. And our project is located right in the heart of the James Bay region. And the James Bay region is really emerging as a world-class lithium project. We are surrounded by these world-class projects. We have the James Bay, the Allkem project, James Bay lithium project, which is located just 12 kilometres away. And also Cygnus Metals have been having some great success recently. And their project is just located 15 kilometres away, their Pontax project. Also up to our tenement boundary is some of Patriots also. They also have a Pontax project, and that's also in the area.
Sorry to interrupt you, Felicity. What do you mean by Pontax project?
Pontax project. Sorry, that's the name of their project.
Okay, got it.
Cygnus Metals and also Patriot Metals have also been working on their Pontax project, not to be confused with their Corvette project.
Right.
We're in quite a hub of activity there.
Is James Bay, you said just a minute ago, James Bay is a really interesting area. To be honest, I know about the Athabasca Basin and I know about some other areas, but James Bay really hasn't been on my radar, and I'm assuming our community out there. Why the excitement around James Bay at the moment?
It's had some previous lithium operations in the area. Like, I suppose Nemaska is probably the most well-known one of previous note. But in the last 12 to, probably 12 months or so, and, with this real driver of, the EV space, there has been, this real emphasis on lithium exploration. And this area is really coming along in leaps and bounds. It's got some really substantial reserves in the area, some lithium hubs, operating areas, and it's really well connected. There's great infrastructure through the area. I think it's 99.8% of all power in the area is through the Hydro-Quebec hydroelectricity, which is obviously really important from a renewable source of energy that's ready and waiting for any of these lithium projects to come into operation. Lately, there's been a real drive with some fantastic exploration results with Patriot Metals, Corvette discovery have been getting, fantastic intercepts up there. And there's a real flurry of activity with a lot of other ASX-listed companies as well. Winsome Resources are doing some great work at their Canset and Adina projects. And it's becoming, really like a fantastic space to be working in because, you find elephants in elephant country, don't you? It's,
yes, you sure do. Yeah. But how did Recharge? For a couple of questions for you, Felicity. I've known Recharge as a copper, and we'll come on to that in a minute. But I've known you as copper. Like, the world's a big place. How did you come across this project, and why did you decide to put this into the stable?
Okay, so we were looking at a few other projects that would, really create wealth for shareholders. We're a really well-structured company. So we actually felt like, we had the benefit of other companies or other syndicates really wanting their project to be in with us. We're a really well-structured company. We can make the most of the asset. And through some of our supporters, this project came our way. We really like the look of it. The vendor is the vendor who identified and vendored the Quebec project into the Patriot Battery Metals. So really well-regarded group that are really good at identifying prospective projects. And it ticks all boxes. We're just really keen to get on the ground. It's quite a large project area, covers 139 mineral claims, which is about 74 square kilometres. And as I mentioned, we're just in that prime jurisdiction, surrounded by world-class lithium projects. In a really exciting part of the area to get cracking on some exploration.
What are the details of the project? So the company that you got it from, are they staying in with any sort of a percentage ownership, or have you taken the project on as a whole?
We take on 100% owning, but they will have a holding in the company. I think from memory, don't quote me on this, I think it's about 18.8%. That DGRM will then hold in the company. So at the moment, we have just over 45 million shares on issue, and they get issued in regards to the project, 22.5 million consideration shares, plus there's some performance rights that are in the back end for identification of lithium over X grade for rock chips and resource, and the usual kind of performance right. So they're really invested in wanting the company to do really well. And a subsidiary of them, of the DGRM group, is the Darouche Consulting Group, and they provide fantastic technical and geological support to a whole range of companies within both Canada and America. So it's fantastic. So we'll have this on-ground Canadian team that can, really work with us and get the project up and running straight away. So we think, there's a lot of synergies between Recharge and also the vendors.
Okay, so you've announced you've got the project. Yep. What I want to know, I'm talking to you in March 2023. Yep. What are the plans going forward? Where I guess the question is the shareholder value. Where do you see that? What are you going to be doing to get this going?
Yeah, sure. Well, the acquisition is conditional on shareholder approval. So as soon as we've got that, then we'll be really hitting the ground running. We've got an exploration program pipeline all underway. Following the finalisation of the acquisition, we'll commence acquiring geophysical imagery and high-resolution aerial imagery. These are really useful for generating exploration targets and for identifying areas of pegmatite that we'll want to go out and field map. So we do all of that in the winter months through Canada, and then as soon as the summer field season arrives, then we have field crews that will head out, and this will be through the Darouche Consulting Group, and they'll be completing detailed geological mapping and sampling of the program of the area of all the prospective pegmatites. And then we're planning at the back end of summer that we'll have a diamond drilling campaign, which will target all of these key lithium targets that we've identified from these earlier field programs. So it'll be a really aggressive 6 months campaign, and then we'll flow on from there.
How much work has been, because you mentioned just before, I'm trying to get a visual, I guess, of it. You said it's quite a large area, and I think you said 139, was that right?
Mineral claims, yep.
Yeah, that's big. How do you decide where to go? Is that by using this technical know-how up there that they're going to help you identify where to drill and what to do next?
Yeah, so the drilling will all be dictated by our earlier field programs. And our field programs will again be guided by that earlier acquisition of geophysical and aerial imagery. So essentially, the first work is desktop studies of all of this imagery to build up, the geological picture, actually work out, hey, where do we want to go and land? Where do we want to go and do this sampling? There has also been some work completed on the project, just geological mapping by MERN, which is essentially like the Geological Survey of Quebec. So
Okay.
they've already, identified some pegmatites that, will be our key areas, which we'll walk up and, the geologists and field assistants will ground truth it, they'll traverse all the area. They'll have a look at it, from a geological point of view, take some samples, get those analysed. And then all of that information will feed back into, hey, where do we want to drill? Where are our best targets that we want to walk up to? So it'll be exciting times.
Felicity, lots of lithium companies out there, different styles of lithium. This is a pegmatite style. I want to hear from you why you think this one is. It's possibly not different, but what's the upside? Where do you see this being? Guys, pay attention. We've got something exciting here. That's, I guess, what I'm trying to, excuse the pun, Felicity, drill down into.
I think probably it's almost the flip side of that. Hey, it's not that different to everything else in this prime lithium region that we have going on in James Bay. This is where you want to be in the lithium space, and this is why we're here. We're not trying to, recreate the wheel or anything else like that. It's been established that it is a world-class area, and our exploration will, follow on foot how others have done it beforehand, to identify these areas and to really progress the area and, explore for the lithium mineralisation. So I think it's, we probably don't need to do anything different. And it's more the fact, hey, if we've got more of the same of these fantastic places, then that's where we want to be.
Okay. Now, it would be remiss of me, because I think the last time I spoke to Recharge was quite a while ago. We actually spoke about your copper projects in Western Australia, specifically Brandy Hill South. Is that being put on the back burner while you focus on this project because it's exciting, or what? Tell us the big picture.
Do you mean obviously, for the next 6 months, the focus will really be on the Express Lithium project. However, that's not to say that Brandy Hill South, slinks away into the background. At the moment, we have an independent geologist completing a review on the project. So he's looking at all of the work that's been completed to date, looking at all of the geological assay work, structural work. And we're trying to really step back and, build up that picture as to, hang on, what do we actually have going on here? Bearing in mind that we have intercepted some significant widths of, copper mineralisation in the last probably 14 months. But we just really feel like we need to take a bit of a step back and work out what is the best exploration strategy for that going forward. At the moment, we're thinking it might be some kind of geophysical survey, maybe an induced polarisation survey that will define further targets. So, we will be progressing the two in tandem. However, Express will definitely be the focus point for Recharge for, the foreseeable future. But it's fantastic having multiple projects in multiple jurisdictions and both tier 1 jurisdictions. A lot of similarities between the two in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and easier to work. But you know what, I got to say, I still love Dr. Copper. I think copper is just it's got such a strong future. So I'm glad that there's still going to be work done on Brandy Hill South. I think that's really important.
For sure.
You and I haven't spoken before. This is the first time our community has met you. I think because I often say to people, it's people and projects. What's your background?
My background. So I'm a geologist by trade. I commenced my geology career near on 20 years ago. Initially, I worked with all the majors.
Okay.
And then I transitioned into the junior end of the market. And that is the end of the market which I've really enjoyed and really embraced. I love focusing on exploration and development projects. I've got quite a bit of board experience. I'm currently non-exec of Widgie Nickel.
So this is so if you make a comparison between the sort of the big companies and the smaller explorers, this is where you can get your teeth stuck into. This is what you love.
Yeah, just really dynamic, and everyone working on multifaceted approach. You're not pigeonholed into a certain area. Much prefer being a, jack of all trades, master of none kind of approach, getting that real breadth of experience. And I think, you just experience that dynamic, exciting kind of approach to exploration, particularly in a junior, which the majors are often a little bit hampered by their slow-moving, bits and pieces in the background. So,
well, ladies and gentlemen, Recharge are back. But Felicity, I would like to hear from you. We'd like to wrap it up in a bow, if you like, and let us know 3 reasons why people should be sitting up and taking notice of you right now. Or I should say Recharge right now.
Okay, 3 reasons. Well, first up, I suppose, I can't miss location. We're in the prime jurisdiction of Quebec, Tier 1 mining jurisdiction. We're right in the heart of the James Bay Lithium District, which is becoming really well known as a fertile area for lithium mineralisation. Number 2, we've got the technical know-how. We have the in-country geological consultants, DeRouge Consulting, engaged to do all of our on-ground work. And, all of our exploration programming is really underway to set us up for a really exciting, aggressive summer field season. And thirdly, I suppose, Kerry, this is a real game changer for Recharge. We've got such a low market cap. We're well structured. We've got a really supportive shareholder base that is just going to absolutely love this acquisition. And we really can see that this will bring value to Recharge shareholders. So, jump on, enjoy the ride.
And I just have to ask this final question. You got skin in the game, Felicity?
I do.
Because I think that's important, ladies and gentlemen, when you know that management is in step with shareholders, that's pretty important as well. So that's good to hear. Felicity, come back. Plenty of news is going to be coming out of this next 6 months, I would think, with all the work that's going on. So come back and make sure you keep us updated with how you go with the Express project over there in Quebec. But for now, thanks for joining me on Small Caps.
Thanks very much for your time, Kerry.